here. My little menace is right behind me. Honey, Mommy, we have to work, baby.
Only a long road can take you back here, and I'll be with you. It's only a lifetime, so let's be forever young. All I want is to bring you up. Take a chance, give me all this.
Talked about breakups when you are young, like in your early 20s, teens, the teen years. Now we're talking about how do you deal and what happens when there is a breakup in your mid-30s, which is another phase of your life. So let's get to it, because today's video, yeah, it's going to be cool. So when you're in your 20s, you handle things different. You really handle things so different. So it's a lot easier for some. That it's easier for everybody, but it's a lot easier for some to deal with a breakup when you're in your 20s. Why? Because you feel that you have a lot of time. You feel that you have a whole life in front of you, and you feel the pain, but you know that you can move on and you know all that stuff. Your 30s, you're in a different stage of your life. 30s, mid-30s, going on your 40s. Okay, you're getting more mature. So you may have a job, you may have a bigger group of friends, a larger group, you have friends from work. So your whole social life is a lot different. There's the breakup. Okay, it comes easier. It does come easier. You know why? First, you don't think about all those silly stuff that you used to think when you were in your 20s. The relationship is different. So what happens is you're not so enchanted. You're not fantasizing that much. You just live in a situation where maybe you lived with that partner. So it's a different type of relationship when you're in your 20s, where you're at home with your mom and dad and you're just living that fantasy love, So you broke up and you have to handle it. Yeah. You're not going to think about, in your 30s and mid-40s, you don't really think about what happened. Oh my gosh, what did I do wrong? It was me. You're not going to cry your eyeballs out. You're not going to stick your head inside that duvet and stay there. You're not going to stop working. You're not going to stop showering. You're not going to stop eating, or you're going to overeat. No, that doesn't happen anymore. Why? Because you already know the path. Yeah. You already know how it works. You already know it's coming. You already know everything beforehand. So you might want to do something different. Of course you're feeling hurt. Of course you're feeling sad. You're allowed to feel hurt. You're allowed to feel sad because you're a human being. You've been maybe even traded, which is the worst thing. And we'll talk about that in the next video. Okay, as I said before, just to set the record straight, I'm not a psychiatrist, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a psychologist in any stuff of relation. It's just me talking about relationships. I've been through some heartaches as well in my life in the past, and here I am. So you have maybe a group from work. You go to work, you have some friends, your heart is hurting, you just had a breakup, maybe he moved out, and you have that bad feeling inside of you. He moved out, you miss him, of course, and maybe you're still in love with him. And now what? You're older, a little bit older than your teen years. You look at it different. So you might even call a friend after work and let's have something to drink, to chat, and I want to just talk about it, or maybe not. Or your friend might have just went through the same situation last week, so you're both going to help each other. But you're not going to be so desperate. You're not going to be so out of control of your feelings. You're going to allow yourself to be hurt. You're going to allow yourself to feel the pain. And you're going to allow yourself to sleep in maybe on a Saturday and Sunday and just take it easy. When you get older, you don't beat up yourself that much. You don't blame yourself much. And you don't blame the other one else either. It happens. You embrace it better. You know that it can happen. It's nobody's fault. It's not his or her fault. And you're able to move on. That's the difference when you're in your teens. The other thing, sometimes you see it differently because you're older. You respect that feeling, that other person's feeling, and it's not your fault. It's not his fault. He or she wants to move on, and whatever you do, it's not going to change the situation. It's never going to change the situation. If somebody does not want to stay with you in this type of relationship, you have to have a lot of courage to say, okay, go. And you're going to stay with your pain, and you're going to resolve it, and you're going to fix it, and you're going to move on. Takes a lot of courage, but that's what happens when you're in your mid-30s, 40s. You're more mature. That happens. And you know that breakups do change when you get older. They do change, and you know the path already. You're going to solve it in a different way. You have your job. You have new friends. Maybe you're going to take time to yourself to rethink the relationship. What went wrong? What can I handle? What can I deal with in my next relationship? Maybe this relationship, I was selfish, insecure a little bit. You're going to change all that in your next relationship, and you're going to embrace all that, and it's an easier path for you to walk on. Breakups in your mid-30s, 40s, it's hard, it's not easy, and it's not fun. It still sucks, but it gets a lot easier for you to go back to that path, and you know your way back home. Yeah, let's start everything all over again, because tomorrow there's work, and I need to be in good shape. You're going to keep on moving on, because there's another chapter for you to get to. So, our next video, I hope you stay tuned for the next video. It's going to be the third and last about the breakups, is the breakups of when you are much older, let's say in your 50s or 60s. How do we deal with that? So I hope you come back for more videos, and I'm going to check in with you in my next one.